Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I will be showing off some new cards I got. I got some new cards just from the game store, right? The 25 cents a card, right? Get a lot of valuable cards that you want, right? That are cool and you want to use. But then I also picked the structure deck up. And it's got some good cards. I use it, maybe, the fire monsters I was looking at, and I kind of like the fire monsters. They're cool, so I was doing like a Cyber Dragon deck. I was kind of doing like a stall deck, but maybe these new cards will change what my deck will look like. And I got some of the new cards are also some fire, kind of maybe synergize. I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it, but let's start up showing you the. I'll start showing you the cards. Alright, so starting with the new cards I just got from the game store, we're starting off with Flamevell Fiend. So this is a fire fiend monster that is a tribute. It's level 5, and it's kind of got weaker for a tribute monster. But when it does do damage, it does additional damage for all the pyro monsters in your graveyard. So that's really good because you can do a lot of damage to your opponent, which is good. And the next card we got here is Achimanja Kananjabura. And there's another fire monster with 1400 attack. And basically you can special summon him when a card effect inflicts damage. Which is really good because you're going to be fire decks and pyro decks or whatever, you're going to be inflicting a lot of damage. And then with this effect you inflict even more damage. So you can kind of just consistently deal damage and get guys in the field, which is always handy. Right? Next here we got Flamevell Guard. This is another fire monster, but he's a tuner, right? And he's a pretty beefy in the defense department, and so you can play him up. Maybe I have a bad draw, but I have him. Put him up, and then the level 1 tuners. I think those are pretty good because you can kind of, I don't know. I think I've heard they're good, right? Because you can. Synchros are hard to summon, and so the level 1 you can kind of just pop on there and upgrade your guy. And then we got 2 in a row. I got 2 skilled dark magicians. And this guy's just kind of a powerful attacker, but when you play a spell, you put a spell counter on him, and then you can bring out a dark magician. And the reason I only have 1 dark magician card, but it can come out of the graveyard. So you play him, put some spell counters on him, bring out your dark magician. Your dark magician is going to be the target attack because he's pretty powerful. He gets attacked, killed, boom. You summon another dark magician. You just bring him back with the other skilled dark magician. It's kind of weird having just an adjective describing a weaker one, but it's fun. And then we got Witch of the Black Forest. Once again, this is just a card, consistently, right? Consistency. A lot of creatures, you're going to be worrying about the attack. So the defense being low doesn't really matter, but it matters for her, right? So you can summon out big attack monsters, get low defenses. Boom. She's handy. She can search out a card for you. And then we've got Malevolent Nuzzler. So this card is a good card for it's equipment card, right? I'm a big fan of Mahavilo. It's a pretty cool card. I like Mahavilo. I've always wanted to make a Mahavilo deck. And this would be kind of a card you put in there just because you can consistently have equipments. And it's more flexible because you can put it on a guy, he dies, put it on your Mahavilo. It's not as much of a commitment, right? Because you're not going to lose it. And then we've got Raging Flame Sprite. So this is actually a very good card in a defensive deck because it can attack directly. So no matter how powerful a monster is your opponent's got, this little lady can deal direct damage, and it increases every time. Essentially, so I'm doing 100 damage, and it's like boom, 1,000, boom, 1,000. So you can be doing up to like Blue-Eyed White Dragon level, more than that even, 3,100, right? Damage, and they can't do much about it, right? Which is great. And then we've got Robin Goblin. If you saw my last video, I love continuously active traps and spells because I really like the fact that you play it and then it's like, cool, the whole game has changed now. Something new's happened. Your opponent has to kind of adapt, which I really like it. Right, every time your monsters inflict damage to your opponent's life points, they discard a card randomly. Randomly is a key thing, because in a lot of card games, discarding, it's not that big of a deal, because it's like, I get to pick. You don't get to pick, so they don't have to say. They can discard all their powerful cards, and they're left with all the weak ones, right? Now, it is luck, but it's like, cards are useful. So that's really handy. I like that. And then you've got Dark Snake Syndrome. So this card is a timer, basically. It puts a timer on the match, right? Continuous spell, as before. But this one, every time your turn ends, right? Turn ends. Yeah. So every time your turn ends, you and your opponent both take damage, and it doubles every time. And so it puts that timer on the match, that battle, the duel, on a timer, right? And so, if you've got a lot of high life points, you've played very defensively, but you've been able to kind of do a little bit more damage, well, boom, now you're going to win. Now you're going to win because that tiny advantage now compounds because of how much damage you're taking. Now you'd have to do some internal math just to see if you won't tie the game, right? I mean, you could see that, I've done a couple damage to him, but it doesn't matter. You're doing so much damage at the end of it, right? So you got to get him down to a decent bit, but it's still fine. And then you've got the Thing in the Crater. This is another pyro fire monster. But this one just allows you to put more guys on the field, right? It's a weaker monster. You play him in defense position or something. Your opponent attacks him, or attacks the thing, right? Destroys it. Boom, a big, powerful monster that, maybe it's a tribute monster. Well, hey, guess what? I don't have to tribute because I special summoned him. Right, so that's very handy. And then we've got Minor Goblin Official. Once continuous trap. This is kind of like the snake one, but this one is just for your opponents. But there's also a limitation; they have to be at 3,000 or lower, right? Which you might think that's hard, but I think there's a lot of times where you get them down to those life points, but then they've finally been able to catch up. Well, with this card, they still take damage. You can kill them off just slowly by whittling down their life points when they're that low, which is it's pretty good. I'll see how it is. Maybe I could see it being weak because it's like, it doesn't impact the board the first turn. You have to do some damage. And then you've got Hand Destruction. This card's very good because it's an effect to your opponent, right? It's an effect to stop your opponent, but it's also useful for you because you get to draw cards and you get to, maybe you had a bad hand, or maybe you have cards that like being discarded, because I know there's a couple, the Dark Rulers, and I don't know, like there's cards that want to be discarded, and so this card helps with that, right? And then you've got Regulation of Trap. So this is once another continuous trap. But this card I really like because it has kind of a dual purpose, right? You can either have a big board full of just kind of garbage and constantly be tributing off them, or you can do a thing, since it's a trap card, you play it face down. Well, then guess what? Your opponent attacks, you go, nope. I activate it. Say, my opponent's doing like a blue eye strategy. I say, hey, you can't play dragons. You can't attack with dragons anymore. Right? Well, cool. Well, guess what? In this hypothetical scenario, I haven't, maybe they destroyed a card or something. I don't have any monsters on the field to tribute. Well, guess what? At the end, when it comes to, at the beginning of my turn, right? I can just go, I can't tribute any monsters. It's gone. And it's kind of that dual purpose. Now you can get into a scenario, you got a big powerful monster and then you've got it. But then at that time, you just don't activate it. You just let your big guy do a big guy. Right? It's great. And so that's why I like it. It's good. And I'll try it. Maybe it isn't good, right? It's kind of, you learn your lesson, right? And then you've got Skull Lair, right? So this card basically just allows you to if you have a big graveyard, right? Which you might have, since if you're discarding a lot of cards or doing stuff, you can just go, hey, they have a blue eyes that I can't kill. I can just banish. Right? I think it's banish, right? You can just remove all your cards in your graveyard from play. Remove 8 of them. Boom. They no longer have a dragon. They don't. Their blue eyes is dead, and so you can kind of use it in that way. And that's really good. Just consistent removal, which is great. And then you've got Curse of Aging. This card just weakens your opponent, and you have to discard a card. So maybe it's not too good just because it's not that good of an effect mixed with you have to discard. But discarding's handy, right? So it always can be useful. So that's fun, right? Those were all the cards I got from the game store. Now, let's open up that structure deck. Okay, guys, now onto the structure deck. The Fire Kings. So, from how I understand what this deck, kind of the strategy of it is that it is like burn based, so you do a lot of damage to the face and fast. So it's very aggressive, I think, right? And that's it. I mean, there's some cool cards, right? And that's because I was looking at just what the cards include. And there's a lot of staple cards, but we'll get to the cards when we get to the cards. But structure decks are really good. If you're getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, just buy a couple structure decks and you can make like a really cool deck, right? Like a deck you enjoy. Because honestly, just buy a structure deck and it's probably gonna be better than anything you make. But so you start off with the Sacred Fire King, Garunix. So he seems pretty powerful. He's got a big long effect. Seems good, right? There's like the boss monster, so probably, you know, kind of the win condition, right? The card that you're trying to get to and that allows you to win. Cool. And then we've got Fire King High Avatar Karin. Once again, this seems like a big guy. Probably he has less attacks. So he probably has more like spell destruction or some like protection or maybe some burn, right? Some more burn. Right? That guy's got a bigger stats. This guy's got, more burn, right? And there's also, I know that there's a theme of like the beasts, right? So there's like Beast Warrior, Beast, Winged Beast, so there's that's kind of another theme aside from just the fire and like the pyro. So then we got Fire King Avatar Rangabali, like a monkey. So that's what it's saying, the Beast Warrior. So these could kind of, this guy face up Fire King. So the Fire Kings are also another theme, right? The Fire King, kind of the archetype. He's kind of weak, but like I said, he probably has some effect that works. And then Fire King Sanctuary. Okay, another, I like continuous spells. Play one. Okay, so because there's a field spell that this is tutoring for, and then you can have something to do with XYZ summons. Oh, XYZs. So right here we got Garruk's Eternity, Hayang of Fire King. So this is an XYZ pyro monster, 2 or more level 8 monsters. So this is kind of your big finisher, your payoff, because it's gonna be requiring 2 level 8s or more, right? And so you're that's gonna be pricey and hard to get out. So, I don't know how much you're gonna get that guy out. And then Fire King Skyburn. So this is a spell. Target an equal number of Oh, that's fun. So this is a destruction spell that, destroys your own guys, but then it also allows you to save your guys, right? When this after use, if it's in the graveyard, you can stop one of your guys from dying. So that's actually really nice. I like that. It's multi-use. Echelon of the Fire King's the trap. Okay. Okay, so this allows you to summon 3 different types of fire monster. A beast warrior, and a winged beast. But then they get destroyed. I don't know. That might be hard to kind of fit in, because the strategy might be above me. And then Legendary Fire King Ponix. Okay, so this is a weaker guy that's weaker, but he has an effect, right? If your opponent was originally, but is okay, and then Okay. Oh, okay. So this is a repetitive effect, right? So you're constantly gonna get this guy back, but he has to survive for a turn. Okay. Or maybe not, because you. Yeah. Yeah. Only once per turn. Right. That's, I don't know. That's kind of a fun card. And then Fire King Avatar Garunix. Okay, another Garunix, I think. Yeah, we've been having Garunix. Once again, kind of weak. I kind of wanted more, beefier attack stats on these dudes. Face up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by a card effect. Except you can special summon this card from anything. Okay, so this, like, once again, it searches, right? That's what a lot of these newer structure decks are, is they search. They search for cards. And then here we have Fire King Avatar Barung. So this is another avatar that gets searched out by the last guy, the Grunix. 1800. That's still not that much. And see, I don't know how I like these dudes. These guys, I want more beefy attack. And then once again, this guy, if a monster is just, so these guys are less about burning, which I thought they were going to be more about, because that's kind of what fire is. And these guys are more about being destroyed, so you can kind of get the guys you want out by being destroyed, I guess. Okay, and then during your next standby phase after this card was destroyed by card effect. Okay, and this guy searches for everything. Okay, I mean, he's good. Fire King Avatar Yaksha. Once again, just searches, but these are all Beast Warriors, right? Winged Beast, Beast Warrior, Beast Warrior, okay. Okay, now their attack stack similar to him. Okay, and this guy, I don't know if I like that, destroying one of your own things. Maybe. Another Avatar, Corinne. And this guy is the same, but he's less attack. But you send the guy directly to the graveyard. I don't know. And then, this guy's big. Blaster, Dragon Ruler of Infernos. A lot of text, big beefy dude. That's 7 stars. Okay, so still 2 tributes. Okay, so you can get him out fast, but he then returns to the hand if you special summon him by the effect. And on fire, then target off the manage you can. Okay, I guess. And then you got Burner, Dragon Ruler of Sparks. And this guy just searches out the Blaster guy, the previous dude. And then Coach Captain Bearman. Beast Warrior cannot be used as... Okay. Okay, so you can summon him, but without tributing, it becomes have. And then... Oh, and you can make all your creatures level 8. So this guy allows you to summon out that XYZ monster. Okay, and then Coach Soldier Wolfbark. Instead, you use special summon in defense position, but negate it, you can only use. Okay. Okay, so then this guy allows you to get more guys out. Fun. This is from in your graveyard. Okay. And then True King Angamuzud, the Vanisher. Beefy guy, that's 9. So 3 tributes. That's a lot of tributes. But then you could destroy 2 monsters from your hand or face upon the field, including a fire monster. And if you do special summon this card, and if you do, you can banish 1 fire monster from your opponent. Banish 1 monster from your opponent's field or graveyard if both destroyed monsters were fire. Of this card, or graveyard if both the destroyed monsters were fire. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can add 1 non-fire warrior monster from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use. Okay. That's a lot of text, and I don't know how I like him. Oh, I remember liking this guy. Pyro Fire. I think he's 7 as well. No, he's 10. That doesn't. Did I miscount? No. I miscounted there. So he's 9 again, 3 tributes. But he cannot be special summoned. But then when this card is tribute summoned, you banish 5 monsters from your graveyard and then destroy effects. So he just clears the board of traps, which I really like. That's a useful card. That's fun. And then Doggram, 8 tributes, big beefy guy. But it's the kaiju thing where it's you give it to your opponent. Okay. Blazing Mars. Another level 8. When this is in your hand or graveyard, you can banish 3 other monsters from the graveyard. Special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon other monsters for this turn. During the main phase, you can send all other monsters you control during the graveyard and inflict 5 into your each monster sent to the graveyard. Okay. Bonfire Colossus. You can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summon, target 2 fire monsters. You can destroy this 2 targets. Okay, so this guy, big dude, but you destroy your own guys to special summon out. So he's big, but you can kind of, you can kind of sacrifice your own guys. And then Sacred Phoenix of Nephthes, 8 tributes. Or no, 8 tributes. That's a lot of tributes. 2 tributes because he's at level 8. Once per turn during your next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon this card from the graveyard. If you do, destroy all spell effects on the trap. Okay, so this guy just keeps on not dying. Okay, but it's all spell traps. Okay, so it's my guys too. Okay, Royal Firestorm Guards. Okay, if this card's normal summon, target 4 power monsters in your graveyard, shuffle all 4 back on the deck and then draw 2 cards. Okay, I really like this guy because you draw cards. I really like drawing cards. Drawing cards is good. Spirit of the Flames. It can't be normal summoned. It must be special summoned by banning a fire monster from your graveyard, and then it has 2,000 attack. I really like this guy too. This guy's great. Fencing Fire Ferret. If this card is sent to the graveyard, target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do inflict 5... Okay, I really like this guy too. Alright? I really like this guy too. This guy's great. I like the simple guys, as you can see. Firebrand Hemnist. When this card is normal summoned, you can send cards from the top of your graveyard to your graveyard. Equal them the cards. If this card is special summoned, you can send cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Okay, so this just fills up your opponent's graveyard, I guess. So you can kind of just remove the cards they have, I guess, but then you can do it to yourself too. I guess that's fine. That's a lot of text. So this guy, special summon him, probably. Yeah, you must special summon him, but he does a lot of effects and probably searches out guys and does effects. Drolin Lockbird. Cool picture. I like the concept, but I probably won't have the knowledge to use it effectively, right? Because when it adds opponent's hand, I don't know. That's fancy. Onslaught of the Fire Kings. Only special summon 1 fire beast from your deck, but it's effective. Okay, I don't like that. I don't like it when my guys get destroyed. I don't like that. Circle of the Fire Kings. Target 1 fire monster you control and 1 fire monster in your graveyard. Just destroy the monster you control, and if you do special summon that other monster from your graveyard, you can only activate. Okay, so this is kind of you trade lives. That's fun. I like that. Rekindling. Special summon from your graveyard as many fire monsters as possible. 2,000 defense, but banish them during... Okay, that's fun because you have, That's okay, that's fine. Fire Formation Tenki. I have this card. I probably won't use it just because, it's good, but just the boost is so tiny. You know, it's only 100 attack, and the search is fine, but Dark Hole, I really like Dark Hole. Dark Hole's great. Trade-in, that's actually pretty good. That's good in this deck. A lot of level 8s. Opponent, yeah, that's a lot of text. Okay, that's like a fax, I don't know. Flame Veil counter. When a spell... Okay, that's good. I like that. You know, that's good. Spiritual Fire Art, Kurenai. Okay. Okay, yeah. That's good, right? Direct attack. I like that. Chain Destruction. When a monster with 2,000 is summoned, target one of them, destroy all cards with that name in its controller's hand and main deck. Okay, I like that. That's just 2,000 or less. Okay, that's good because it just destroys a lot of the cards. Torrential Tribute. Once again, destroy all cards. I really like destroying all cards. Solemn Judgment. These, as you can see, these are the cards I actually wanted because they're actually like good cards. Negate a thing, pay half your life points. That's great. Infinite Impermanence. I have one of these. No Power Sting Stone. Every time a monster's effect is activated, place one spell stone counter on it. Max 2. Or this card has 2 spell stone counters needed to play Canolic. Also, effects face on the field are negated once per turn during the end phase. If this card isn't, remove them. Okay, so you have to cast 2 of them. I don't know. 3 level 8 guys, once again, you know, benefit the level 8 guys. Just powerful card. 2 level 4. I like this. I play level 4s. Once per turn, you can dash one from them, target one beast. I don't know. And then Link monsters. I don't know how links work. And I'm not gonna learn how to use them. Fire King High Avatar Garundix. Once again, just another powerful level 8. Yeah, another powerful level 8 with an effect. Another powerful level 4 that. Okay, yeah, cool. And then the field spell. If this face-up card is in the field zone and sent to the graveyard or banished, destroy all monsters you control. You can only use one of the following effects of Fire King Online per turn, and only once that turn. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster in your hand or field, and if you do, add one Fire King monster from your deck to your hand. If you control no monsters, you can special summon one Fire Winged Beast from your hand. Okay, that's good. Alright, so that's the deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll definitely be adding some of these cards. The thing with a lot of these is that it's like everything's so conditional on the other ones that you can't really make a good deck just with a couple of them. But I'll try. I'll add some of the new cards and hopefully it works. So, you know, I'll make a video about it someday when I do it. Maybe not. Stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.